Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I want to thank Michael for sharing this tune that we just played with us. This is a little jam that Michael wrote that we thought we'd play this morning. So
It may have words someday.
maybe someday, but it makes a nice instrumental. So, good morning, Dwight. I'm very well. We'll see where it is. Oh, it's up there in the front row. Hey, Melody, do you mind grabbing that yellow mic right next to you in the seat right next to you and bringing it up here for him? All right, now you got to turn it on, Dwight. Here's your next test. Quick, just hold it. Oh, you got it. Okay.
You're chasing all of my good Unity vibes away from me. So anyway, good morning. Welcome to beautiful Unity of Tampa and our beautiful new building. Things just keep getting better and better and better. So my name's Dwight Wells, and I don't know how I got picked to do this job, but somebody picked me. It's something like I didn't learn in the military not to volunteer. So anyway, so first of all, I want to say hello to all the people that are watching this from Facebook and other devices at home. We're hoping that, sooner than later you'll start joining us here in the sanctuary, but we understand that's a very acceptable form of doing almost everything these days. And for a guy that does have a June birthday, and I won't tell you which one, it's a little bit too fast for me to be doing all this without seeing all you beautiful people. So, secondly, let's see. What was the second one? The June birthdays, and including me. So, do you want them to? Yeah.
Who else has a June birthday? Looks like Mark Menard. Looks like we got another one.
Yeah. Elvon. All right.
Let's all sing them happy birthday, folks. Sing with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for being brave enough to celebrate it with us and tell us.
And there was one more thing you wanted me to bring up. This thing. Okay. Announcements. See, I take a little bit of tutoring here. Okay. Well, certainly we want you to sign up to be a snack angel. We've been doing pretty well over at the part of our new facility here, which is just takes my breath away. Really does. So people are joining together after church and breaking a little bread over there, and we always need more bread to be broken. So if you feel so inclined, please see our wonderful Minister Nancy or someone else, perhaps the board president over here, to sign up. To sign up for snacks in the fellowship hall, and I think that's just about as much as I got to do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's Wednesday, correct?
Starting June 17th.
Okay, the Course in Miracles will be starting June 17th, and we would hope you people will take advantage of that. And I believe we're still having our Wednesday evening
Yep.
program, which is great. It's great music and it's great instruction, and things are just going wonderfully well. The Lord is with us. So, thank you. One more? No. You see now why Joanne likes being married to me. Yeah, I guess we're looking for some people to sign up for community outreach to do things in the community. And it's interesting because I think we're in a very interesting neighborhood here.
Yes.
And I think that's potential for people to come to this church. And we just have to reach out to those folks. You know, I look around as I drive here, and it just looks like a lot of pretty neat people live quite close to our church. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dwight. Watch your step, okay? Thank you, Dwight. Be careful. Yeah, it's better to make sure you're paying attention. Those little steps climb up very quickly. So good morning, everybody. I'm so happy. We have so many new people visiting today. Oh my gosh. And some visiting from out of town. So I found out that two people sitting over here, Jean and Brenda, went to the same church. Carol, right? Carol, so that church, when we were talking about the old church, they went to the North B and were over there. So Carol's daughter was the first one ever baptized at North B. Now that right? That's some history. So anyway, it's awesome, and we have awesome people doing awesome things. So you see our new screens? Yeah. Right? All right. So I have to tell you what happened. So our new screens went up, and they didn't work, but we didn't want to announce that to everybody because we were having a panic attack. But it turned out we had the wrong cables. So they replaced the cables on Saturday, but they didn't have time to run them through the ceiling and pull them back, so the cords will be gone next week. But I just wanted to tell you the good news was they got them running yesterday. And that was the bigger thing, yeah. Yeah, I think it was more important that they were running and that we just didn't have cords for no reason. Yeah. So did Grady, there you are, Grady. I didn't see you before. So I wanted to mention that Grady Lenski is here from Texas. He watches online. And yeah, so it's great because Grady and Marilyn were part of Unity when Jeffrey and I were. They joined us at TIP the last 4 or 5 years since they've been out of town. They've been watching TIP. And now Grady came into town on business and drove over to Tampa yesterday. And we got to spend last night with them, which was wonderful. And he's flying back. He has to be at the airport at 1 today. So he literally came here just to see. So if you get 5 minutes and you remember Grady and Marilyn, stop over and see him before he runs out today. Yes. Yeah, former board member. Yeah, he really came to find out what the board's doing. No, I'm kidding. All right, yes. All right, I think I have everything on my list that I wanted to mention. If you brought items for the children's board collection today, we didn't create a collection place. Where do you want them? Okay, so you want to just make it Fellowship Hall somewhere? Okay, because this Sunday and next Sunday we're collecting, and there's a list in your insert of what we need. These are things that will go to children who are in need of food during the summer months when school's out, okay? So if you can help us, that would be great. Jeffrey and I are bringing stuff over next week, and we will add to the collection. Okay? All right, can we join together in saying our affirmation? There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our daily word today is healing. And it says, my thoughts, words, and actions affirm divine life. Today, I give thanks for the constant activity of divine healing life, especially when my body is experiencing illness. To bolster my awareness of my capacity for healing, I place my attention on my inherent wholeness. I affirm life in my thoughts, my words, and my actions as I care for my body and meet its needs. My faith assures me that illness is not the truth of me, nor is it my enduring reality. Through my actions, I am affirming wholeness as my true nature and encouraging my healing. Even when I'm not facing illness, I greet each day by blessing my body, affirming my wholeness, and the ongoing activity of divine life in every organ and every cell. I give thanks for the gift of divine life by giving thanks for my healing and living joyously. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." That's from Luke 8. And I would say we are a pretty joyous bunch. So I just want to tell you, I look forward to every Sunday because I know that there will be joy in my life being with all these awesome people. So thank you for being a part of this. Today I am I'm going to hand it back to you, and today, just so you know, I'm Emma.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, we do actually have Piper and Allison here, but I'll give the children's lesson. Yeah.
Doing
Okay.
the announcement. That's
Yeah.
great. So we got a new song of the month, everybody. The month of June coming up. Let's stand up and sing it together, shall we? Good idea, Gail. Thank you. So this one is we can kind of do it like a call and response type thing. The lyrics come a little bit quick, but you listen to someone who knows it next to you and you'll just be fine. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need, yeah. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Singing about peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Love is my source, joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Y'all sound great. You picked it up quick.
Well, you guys don't sound so bad yourselves.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, we appreciate that. We were working a little bit. We're working a little bit on some audio upgrades this week, too, in addition to getting the screens. That's right. That's right. So hopefully it
Yeah.
sounds good out there to you guys.
Yeah, Elliot worked very hard this week on this place. He was very concerned about our online sound, and he worked very hard to make sure things would be good. And I want to tell you, Elliot, I was a little disappointed when Grady asked me if you were here. It sounded like he was coming here to see you today. I'm just saying, he said, is Elliot still there? Is it the same Elliot I know?
So Grady and Marilyn, when they were moving, actually just gave me, on a random Sunday, they showed up with a beautiful acoustic guitar, an Alvarez that had hardly been played. It was the same, and an Alvarez is the same brand as like the first acoustic guitar I ever played at home that my mom had from a friend, had borrowed from a friend, and it was lying around, and it was like one of the first guitars I picked up when I was 15 or 16. And they said, here, we have this guitar, but we don't play it. Have this guitar. And they just gave me a beautiful acoustic guitar out of the blue, and I will never forget that, how generous you guys were, and it just meant a lot to me. And
Oh, well, he came to get it back.
I still got it. What's it worth to you?
And aren't you glad I didn't tell you he was coming today?
No, it's wonderful to see you, Grady. Thanks.
That's
for being with
awesome
us.
story. He didn't tell us the whole story, but he told us he had given you the guitar. I didn't know they just walked in and gave it to you.
Yeah, it was very unannounced. I think I was like really kind of like getting in the car to leave that week too. Like it was, and so were you guys. It was like in the parking. It was like a parking lot transaction. They were like, "Hey kid, want a guitar? Here it is."
That's
It
awesome.
was amazing.
Well, I think it's great that you remembered him today by telling that story. Thank you. All right, since Emma had her wisdom teeth pulled, so she is not speaking quite yet. But we do have Allison and Piper here, right? And here's what they're talking about. So today they're talking about that we're all heroes, that we're powerful children of God, but which way we ought to go from here depends a great deal on where we want to get to. The lesson is from the Cheshire Cat, and in order to know the hero within us, the choices we make need to be courageous, determined, and disciplined. And one way we can do that is to first listen within and act on our guidance. And so it is. So questions for the kids today, for you parents to ask them later. Does a child of God ever act sad, angry, and confused? Is a child of God strong and brave? And is a child of God like a hero? And how does a hero act? So Melody, there will be a test. All right, let's sing them out.
I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
All right, so we have two great stories today. This is really awesome. So there's this couple that has been hiding money inside baby supplies at Target. They said that they really felt like they needed to do something for families, and she is a registered nurse and a founder of something called Milky Mama, which is a website designed to support mothers who are breastfeeding. And soon to be a mother of 3, when she and her husband Patrick had their first child, they realized how expensive it was to have children and to buy all these things. And now that they're in a better financial place, and they know in LA these things are very expensive, they have decided to do what they can, and they said, and they're not stopping here. So they've been putting money in diaper boxes, under formula canister lids, and just wherever they can, so that when somebody gets that item home, they find the cash. And they said, we recalled how hard it was for us as new parents to afford some of the basics. We could only imagine how difficult it must be during this pandemic. We hope that the parents that purchase these items have a brighter day when they find our gifts. Isn't that nice? Simple act of kindness. And this story also, and thanks to Bobby, and Kathy for these. So this story really brought, like, just big heartfelt moment for me. This is a 7-year-old cancer survivor who last year, she battled leukemia, first of all, as a toddler. And she decided to sell lemonade to help other children who are cancer victims and to help continue the studies for children. And her name is Caroline Gallagher, and she raised $435 for childhood cancer recently in St. Pete. Her lemonade stand was in the yard of her family's home. But there's something called Lemonade Days, and so that was started because of someone named Alex, who was an 8-year-old from Connecticut who died in 2004 from leukemia. So this young girl raised last year during COVID $20,000. And what they do is she doesn't put a price on the lemonade, she just puts the lemonade out and they run it back and forth to the cars and people make donations. And she raised $20,000 last year. She is in remission. She's been in remission since she was 18 months old. But she wants to help doctors so they have medicine for sick children as well. 100% of the donations go to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. And of course, I'm sure she pays for her lemonade. At least I hope she does. All right, so 2 really inspiring stories. Let's get ready for meditation with positive thoughts like that in our mind. And we'll just take a moment now, if we can. Take a deep breath. Just relax all of your thoughts. And let's listen and sing this song.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear. I let go of fear. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. I see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So beautiful. I hope you sing that song all week to yourselves. Just help get yourself centered. So as you get comfortable and you breathe and you relax, I just invite you to take in the words I'm about to share. Taking in what is meant for you, what feels right, but not allowing your mind to be distracted by other things. As I begin my day, I use the creative power of my thoughts and words to affirm my purpose. When I act with purpose, I experience my highest good and in turn bring out the highest good in others. While I may have tasks and responsibilities that seem mundane at times, I quickly change my mind and connect with my purpose. And when I become clear about why I am doing things, I experience fulfillment. There's a reason for my existence beyond me experiencing life. I am here to make a difference. And I can only learn what that is when I am soul searching and looking within, not outside of me. It is that inner wisdom that brings me to the place and time and the moments that I need for my highest good. That is when and where I connect with the universal knowledge that's available to me at all times. It is from this source that I instantly and continuously draw forth the wisdom to guide my path. If I am unclear about my intentions or purpose, I remember that I am a co-creator with Spirit as I respond and interact with life. I choose thoughts, words, and actions that reflect my intention. And in doing so, I live with purpose. As I sit quietly now, I rest assured that my intentions and purpose will always be clear. The light of God shines brightly on my life. And with my heart and my mind centered in peace, I come back to this place and time, knowing that whatever I was meant to hear will come naturally to me without any effort. And so it is. So last week, we looked at the importance of following the signs along the way and how there weren't any coincidences in life that were meant for the guidance that we need. So several weeks ago, some of you saw that Reverends Alan and Debbie Moss had come to visit. And with them, they brought some books that they thought maybe I would like to have. And I decided, of course, you know, I'm always grateful for learning opportunity, but I happened to open one of the books, and it was written by Sir John Templeton. And it's a book called Why Are We Created? It's fascinating. I found it really interesting. And the first thing that came to mind for me is the saying that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We've all heard that saying, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. But what it made me think about was, so what is the human experience about? What is it that we're supposed to experience? So that led me to dig a little deeper. And when you think about our humanness, the part about what we're here for, I want to read you what different religions say about that, because it's pretty empowering. So Judaism says that everything God has made in heaven and on earth all resides in man. Man being man and woman. Everything resides within us. That's pretty interesting. The Quran says that God has made all things in the heavens and on the earth available to us, and that bounty flows in exceeding measure, both seen and unseen. Hinduism, I love this, God exists in all beings, but is most manifest in humans, but the human heart is God's favorite dwelling place. How beautiful is that message? And in Christianity, the Bible begins with, let us make man in our own image and in our own likeness. Now, that's all pretty powerful stuff, and basically what it says, that we came here with everything we need. We were born with everything we need to navigate life, that we have that capability, and it's all within us, not outside of us. Well, Sir John Templeton asks us to consider this very important question. He said, is it possible that we were born to be agents of God? And he goes on to say, so that we could help accelerate God's creativity by making the world a better place. Isn't that awesome? Is it possible that we were born as agents of God? And he goes on to say that the understanding why we are created can only be answered by how we live our lives. Not what we do, how we live. Now, he says to have a human experience is one thing, but how deeply our human experiences affect us is where we get our life lessons and where we get the real meaning of our existence. And he also said that when we have experiences that deeply impact us, that is when we're living on purpose, not living with purpose. That we're living on purpose, with intention. Now, many of you know Mark Zuckerberg. He's the founder of Facebook, Facebook mogul. And he said 3 important things about purpose. One is that the challenge is in us learning to create a world where everyone has a sense of purpose. 2, the purpose is us understanding that we're part of something bigger than us. And in order to do something about that, we have to find what makes us able to contribute. And he also said that we have to recognize that purpose is what creates true happiness. And I'm going to share some research as well on that. But as I looked into his theory, I wanted to see, is it true purpose and happiness are really connected? Most of us who feel we have a purpose are very happy in our lives. So, of course, we need to know, are there facts, right? Those who are scientific, we need to think about, are there facts to support this? Well, research shows that when you are purpose-filled, you live 14 years longer on average. Okay, did you hear what I just said? If you didn't find your purpose and you want to live a long time, you got to find a purpose. A gentleman named Bob Condor wrote an article in the Chicago Tribune, and here's what he said. purpose in life equals happiness. And he said money and happiness are what everybody write about. Money gets all the ink, he said. But the truth of the matter is the straightest line to health and happiness is actually purpose. And research shows, and he went on in this article to say, that when you have meaningfulness in your life, you're in less pain, you have less anxiety, and less stress. And when they measured this, they said over 6 months, those that they were able to help find a purpose complained less about all those other things. He also noted that other studies showed purpose in life can actually reduce substance abuse and decrease depression. And ultimately, all of that leads to an improved life, just because we had purpose. Now, there's a gentleman, author and CEO, Richard Leider. He provides guidance to people on finding their purpose. And he says what we should do is to measure at the end of every day what our experiences are that are life-giving and what experiences we have that are life-draining. And the more you can tap into the ones that are life-giving, the more purpose you will find in your life. But he said until you start to monitor what is life-draining and what is life-giving, you won't know that. That's pretty interesting. In Buddhism, they teach that there's purpose in supporting the progress of human society and that all of us should want to be here to further the development of society. Not just our own development. But Sir John Templeton says the only way that can happen is when we start recognizing that all the wisdom and research is already in us. We don't need to go outside of us. It's already there. And he said if we could research what is needed through our inner wisdom, we would build this partnership with universal energy, and we would become the bridge between the invisible and the visible, because we would be those agents of God. It's a wonderful thought to think of ourselves that way. We would all behave differently if we thought of ourselves as agents of God. And he asks us to think about what our lives might be like if all we did continually throughout the day was release our own creativity and let our creativity be used in the world for good. He said, this is my favorite statement, he said, high aims and clear purpose can act as rudders, steering the unlimited and unique potential of our minds toward beneficial productivity. It's a pretty cool thought. Now, we all know there are people who have lived their life with purpose. Let's start with Jesus. Jesus lived his life with purpose, but Jesus knew what his purpose was. Not all of us are that lucky, right? Jesus was born and told, hey, your purpose is to make people aware of God. And so that's what he did. But then you look at somebody like Gandhi, who had a completely different experience. So when Gandhi was 18 years old, he sailed from India to London. And he studied law, he passed the bar. He went back to India after he passed the bar, and he wanted to help his country. So he litigated and lost his first case. And he was so upset about it that he left India right after that happened, and he moved to South Africa. He gets to South Africa, and he litigates another case, and he gets so flustered in the middle of it that he runs out of the courthouse and gives the money back to the people who hired him. Completely mortified, because guess what? He was not a presenter. He could not speak comfortably. He wasn't comfortable. So now this guy thinks this is his purpose. I'm a lawyer. I went to law school. I passed the bar. I'm supposed to do this and help people. And he wanted to help people, but he couldn't figure it out. until he was on a train and somebody who thought he should not be sitting in the class he was in had him ejected from his seat. And from that moment on, Gandhi knew what his experience in this lifetime was supposed to be. After this white passenger complained about him, he began an 8-year campaign of civil disobedience, fighting for the freedom and equality of people, and found his voice, but he mostly wanted to free India from Great Britain, and he spent 8 years doing it. From that moment on, he not only was successful, but India was freed from Great Britain, so when he returned to India, he had done something wonderful. And he felt differently about what his purpose was. And he had made his difference in advanced society. Now, there's another story I want to share. It may be less popular and less well-known than Gandhi. But the story, Nicole told me about this story, and it just really, the more I read, the more I found it really interesting. So this is about a gentleman named Trent. And Trent was his whole life, Trent Shelton is his name. You may have heard of him. And his whole life, he wanted to be an NFL football player. Whole life. He spent all his high school playing football, all of his college time at Baylor University playing football. He was ready for the NFL. So Trent doesn't get drafted for the NFL, but he didn't let that stop him, so he went out as an undrafted free agent. He gets a call from the Indianapolis Colts. It was 2007. They had just won a Super Bowl. He thought, this is a great place for me to be. I'll really shine here. This was his big chance, but they never played him. He was reassigned to the practice squad. He eventually gets cut. He locks himself up in his bedroom, like depressed, upset, can't believe, feeling sorry for himself, and then Tony Dungy calls. Tony Dungy says, hey, we might have an opportunity to put you in a Monday night football game. But something happened to his knee. And they said, if you can't really run full speed, you can't play. So that ended his time with the Indianapolis Colts. Next season, he goes to the Seattle Seahawks, the mini camp. He was cut at the end of the preseason. A week later, they call him and say, hey, hurry up and get here. We have an opportunity for you to play. He's at the airport boarding his plane, and they call him and say, we found somebody else who fits our needs. Back to the bedroom. Sitting with all his trophies and awards, feeling sorry for himself. Now the Washington Redskins sign him to the practice squad after he runs the fastest 40-yard dash in 4.3 seconds. November, he's cut from that team. Still not ready to believe that football is not his dream, he goes to arena football, where the smaller fields with the turf over concrete should be easier for his physical ability and maybe not hurt him as much. But before that opportunity, he spirals out of control, starts on a drinking binge, partying, gets his girlfriend pregnant, and his life was completely out of control. But then his college roommate took his own life. He too thought he was going to be an NFL hero, and he too was being let go from teams, and he too found it unbearable. suddenly, this son of a preacher, by the way, Trent decides maybe he needs to go back to prayer and go back to what he did before. And he's praying to God and saying, how could you take all my dreams away and my friend? And suddenly, in that moment, he hears this idea, rehab time. The answer came to him just that quickly. He realized every athlete who gets hurt, like him, needs rehab time. And he needs to start something to help other people like him so this never happens to them. He starts working out. He starts reading, sitting at Starbucks and Barnes & Noble and reading any books he can find. He gives one speech at his dad's church that's so powerful that the whole place supported him. And now he has books, podcasts, and a speaking career that he never thought was possible. And the loss of his friend and the birth of his child were the incidents that deeply impacted him and made it possible for him to find his purpose. His purpose wasn't the NFL. His purpose was to let those experiences deeply impact him so he could do something more meaningful to advance our society. Now, like many of us who have found ourselves devastated when our dreams are shattered, his experiences, just like ours, led him to find what was more important for him to do. Sir John Templeton says, sometimes we may be unable to measure the work we have accomplished, but progress is stamped indelibly on our souls and on the souls of those we help along the way. The service we humbly give to others lives beyond our days on this earth. Let's take a look at our takeaways for today. How nice is that? Living our purpose requires us to, number one, see ourselves as agents of God. Find ways daily to bring divinity to others. Number two, use your God-given talents for good. Identify your talents and find out where they can be useful. 3, be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi understood how to help society progress. And number 4, remember you are part of something far greater than yourself. Take time to reflect on the magnificence of the universe. And our affirmation today is, I am divinely guided each day to the right and perfect path. And our quote is from Oprah Winfrey, and it was just perfect for today. There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born, and it's how you become most truly alive. Let's take that in. So we take a moment to affirm that we will and are living our purpose. And if we aren't sure about what our purpose is, we're going to learn to go within. And we affirm that inner wisdom and the power within us, just like Trent and Gandhi, to know in any given moment what we are meant to do, even when it wasn't what we set out to do. The work we do in this lifetime will last far beyond us. And we affirm everyone's capability of contributing. Amen. If you're in need of personal prayer, please reach out in one of the many ways we offer. There are prayer cards in the back. There's our wonderful Linda Reed, who takes all the prayer calls that come in and makes sure they're distributed to all of our chaplains. And we have a really good group of people who are willing to pray. And in the meantime, since I said purpose equals happiness, I believe this is a great segue for us to hear the band play Michael Hilson's song, I'm on my way to
I
happiness.
see why Elliot picked it out this week. It really fits.
Almost tapped you on the shoulder.
Yes, I'm on my way to happiness. Feel it in my soul. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness, though it's not my goal. Yes, I feel a sense of meaning. I feel it very well. But on my way to happiness, sometimes it hurts like hell. You got a right to know your name. You got a right to sow your style. You got a right to own your pain. You got a right to sow your smile. You got a right to feel your struggles aren't in vain. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness. Feel it in my soul. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness, though it's not my goal. Yes, I feel a sense of meaning. I feel it very well. But on my way to happiness, sometimes it hurts like hell. You got a right to know your name. You got a right to sow your style. You got a right to own your pain. You got a right to grow your smile. You got a right to feel your struggles aren't in vain. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness. Feel it in my soul. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness, though it's not my goal. Yes, I feel a sense of meaning. I feel it very well. But on my way to happiness, sometimes it hurts like hell. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness. I feel it in my soul. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness, though it's not my goal. Yes, I feel a sense of meaning. I feel it very well. But sometimes on your way to happiness, man, it hurts like hell. Man, it hurts like hell. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness.
I'm on my way.
Yes, I'm on my way to happiness. Yes, I'm on my way to happiness.
I'm on my way.
Yes, I'm on my way to happiness.
I'm on my way.
Yes, I'm on my way to happiness.
I'm on my way.
Yes, I'm on my way to happiness.
I'm on my way.
So thank you, Michael, Elliot, Alban, Duncan. Where's Michael Williams? I see you, Michael. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who makes this day possible. And Dwight, who came and got us started on the right foot. And all the people who contribute to food. And I'm just so grateful. And with that said, I would like us to say our giving affirmation together. I have faith in God as my instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. I have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. I have faith in God to guide me in all my ways, and my health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet my every need. Amen to that. And we thank you for your contributions. If you want to make a contribution, there are envelopes in the back of the seats, and there's also an offering box in the back, outside in the narthex, and you can make a contribution online if I didn't say that. So anyway, lots of ways to give, but we appreciate everything you do for us. And with that said, I believe I am the thinker.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Once we've had our coffee, right?
Yes, once we've had our coffee.
I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I got the power to change my life. If you ask me, who am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. No, I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I got the power to change my life. If you ask me, who am I am beauty, I am light, I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. Oh. I can be the light for you, light up someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. No, I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I got the power to change my life. We are the thinkers who think the thoughts that change the things to shape our lives. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I got the power to change my life. I got the power to change my life. I got the power, yeah, to change my life. Thanks, guys. A big thanks to Sue Riley for giving us that one. She's over actually in Clearwater and actually wrote that last song there, I Am the Thinker. And again, I really do hope it sounds good to everyone who's listening on our live stream. We worked hard. We came in on a Thursday and did a little sound check specifically for you guys at home on Facebook, YouTube viewers. So let us know. And again, I'll go back and check the comments. If you guys have any feedback for us, if you think something's a little too loud, a little too soft, we'll keep fine-tuning it. But should be really, really nice. You guys can go home. If you're curious, too, to hear how the recording comes out, you can now go to the Facebook page, and you should be able to hear a pretty good quality recording of what you heard here at the service. So I think it's that time. We're going to stand and sing the peace song, y'all. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Let's join together and sing our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. Thank you for being here today. Stop by and get some food if you can. They worked hard, and thanks to everybody who helped. And Dave, thank you. This looks awesome.
Indeed.
Awesome. Thank you.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break, yeah. Like a hot air balloon, I can go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I've clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I clap along if you feel be just fine. Yeah, no offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why, because I